Hello YouTube. I have what I hope is going to be a quick project on the back of my welding truck. My cable sometimes needs to come down over the edge of my bed, and well, I don't have a roller back there. It's been on my list for years to get one built. I have been just kind of sticking a piece of pipe under the cable if I have to make that bend, but that doesn't always work out the best. But I do have this sheave off of the POS winch bed that I got several years ago. Now, do you like it? The pass inspection? And I'm going to make a little mount real quick so the cable can run over this sheave. Now, I had to cut the nuts off the shaft for this sheave, but this shaft is pretty much ruined anyway. It's a very well abused piece of shaft, so that's no good. I do have this other piece of shaft that will work just fine, and I have several of these 1/4-inch plates laying around that I left over from the kindling makers that I make. I think if we stick the sheave kind of off in this corner, angle this down a little bit or something, put a couple holes over here so we can bend this over, and put 2 vertical plates on the back of this with a sheave in the middle, I think this will make a real nice tailboard roller, I guess we could kind of call it, and should work for what I need. So first, I'm going to sit down at the computer and draw me some shapes for a while. Alright, I am quitting working in the garage. The wind just hit really strong. It was rattling the garage door when I turned on the camera, but maybe you can hear the wind howling and the garage door rattling a little bit. Not rattling very bad right now. Sounds like it died down just a little bit. But anyway, that's not the big issue. The big issue is smoke has just engulfed us outside. Smoke won't show up near as good on the camera as what the human eye sees it. So I'll try to zoom in over here and show you how thick this is. That's why I put on a mask. I was standing here working, also my throat just started burning. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Then I realized there was smoke in the air. And I think with all the years of, 35 years of being a welder now, I think my lungs are really sensitive to this stuff now. So anyway, I'll try to zoom you in out here and show you how bad the smoke is that's rolling across right now. Well, it is 24 hours later and the smoke has cleared, but it is still very, very windy outside. So dust in the air right now. That's why I'm wearing the mask still. And I'm gonna work on this a little bit. We'll see how much I can get done today. But what I'm doing right now is I put the scribe in the CNC plasma table, and we're gonna scribe out one of these plates that I'm gonna make here for this mini roller thing, whatever we're calling this, I don't know. And the reason I'm using the scribe is I'm going to drill the hole for that 2-inch shaft for the sheave. I don't want to just have the plasma cut on that, so I want to make sure that's located. I'll probably just do it on one piece because I can just stack the 2 pieces up when I drill them. It'll be close enough that way, right? And then we'll cut it out with the plasma cutter. Okay, I've got these marked I probably should have gone ahead and done a scribe line on this one, but I didn't think about that. This one is the reverse side, so I had to mark it back there. And then I've got a stop set on my press here, so I can just put these in and bend them in the exact same place on both of them. I'm going to do them one at a time instead of both at once, but anyway, put that in there. Look at them and see where I want to bend it. This is where I go with it. That's a lot of power to me. I don't know what time it's up there. Well, 500 psi, so that's nothing. Alright, and the idea of this is it's going to bolt onto the back of the truck like that, with the sheave being in here. And the wind is really hitting hard now. I think we're over 60 miles an hour. I'll take you outside here and show you what's going on. It's no longer smoky, but it is dusty out there now. Here we go, outside. Woo-hoo. Blah. It takes seconds to zip through with this thing. Oh man, these things save so much time. Even if I do spend forever getting all the bird's nest off of it. Alright. So now the thing I gotta do is get this pin cleaned, get this pulley cleaned, because they are atrociously dirty. And then I need to make a little tab so I can bolt this pin in place. Try the side. Oh, that's got a big old burr on it. A welder berry right there on it. Take that off. Yeah, before I do anything. Alright, I'm going to see if I can clean these parts a little bit. Get that berry off of there. I'll draw up a little tab that holds that. And then we'll be right back. Well, the garage is literally shaking now because of the wind, and I checked the local airport weather and they are reporting 66 mile an hour winds right now. The dust is honestly not as bad as it was earlier, but my eyes are getting really irritated at this point. So I'm just going to call it a day. It's silly to try to be out here with this garage shaking and dirt blowing and my eyes getting irritated. I can go inside, work on some videos, and maybe life will be a bit better hanging out in the house instead of out here in the garage. 66 mile an hour winds. I'm out of here for a while. Alright. I stuck the ears on there and realized I hadn't turned on the camera, but I don't need to refilm that, do you? Because you get that idea. So those are on there. The pulley is pretty darn clean. It's been soaking in gas for 3 days now. I was waiting for the wind to stop blowing. So that sheave looks pretty darn nice. There's a couple rough spots I think I'm going to be having to sand down a little bit here and there, but otherwise she's in pretty good shape. So I'm going to set the piece up here. So I'm going to set a piece up like this. Put the pin through like this. Let's see, it'll go that direction. Maybe like that. Put the sheave in there. Put the other piece in like this. See if I can tack weld these ears on there. Alright. Whew, that stinks. Why does that smell that bad? Oh, good grief. I don't know what that smell is on about, but that is bad. That almost looks like a weld now. That'll work. Almost got a decent weld out of it finally. There, not too bad of a weld. Then we'll pull this pin out, and I gotta cut it down just a little bit because it's sticking out 1 3/4 inches on this side over here. I don't want it sticking out that far. And also, I'm going to go ahead and weld on a little washer type keeper thing over here. So when I take this roller pulley thing off the back of my truck, you know, unbolt it from the back of the truck here, these mounts will stay together. The whole thing will stay together as a unit, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want this mount falling off the end of this shaft when it's in storage or something, if it's not on my truck, and then I can't find parts and pieces. So I want it to all stay together. That's too much talking for that. And this will slide on there. So there it is. Got the hex welded on the end of the shaft there as a keeper. Got the bolt put back in. Everything's kind of sort of assembled here. And the next step, oh, I need to put my grease zerk back in. Grease zerk, put that in. Okay, next step is we're going to go take this over to the truck and clamp it on and get the holes drilled in it. Alright, I've got some lines drawn here. I got my top 2 bolts figured out, and I'm going to try to drill them, and I'm going to put the pulley back on and then make sure my bottom 2 bolts are exactly where I want them. Got the old mag drill out. But the old Vevor mag drill out. This thing is an awesome beast. If you want to check this thing out, follow the link below in the description. I really like this drill. This thing is really well made. It has some amazing features. So, clamp that on there. Sorry you can't see anything. And flip on my egging it. There we go. Alright, lefty, lefty. Ani, ani. I need to get some fluid. Well, I got it all put together. Let's move the truck to a different place so I can set up the camera and show you how this works. The basic idea of this is when the winch cable comes off the back of the bed, it'll go over this pulley instead of rubbing on that sharp corner of the bed. And I can change angles of the cable and hopefully not destroy it. Sometimes I need to lift the tongue of a broken plow or trailer off the ground, and this will be really handy for that situation. Another nice feature is if I put a snatch block in the system down lower here, then I can redirect the cable perpendicular to the truck, either side. Probably give myself about 180 degrees of range out there. And hopefully in the future, I'll make myself a mount that bolts in using the same bolt pattern as the pintle hitch here. That'll allow me to attach the snatch block to and redirect off of that instead of using the pintle hitch. We'll see. Well, I'd say everything is going to work out just fine with this. So let's take it all apart, clean it, and paint it. I decided to paint these parts instead of powder coat them. I would much rather powder coat them for the durability, and also once they're powder coated, it's done. I can put it back on my truck. With paint, I have to wait several days for it to cure. But I can't powder coat these because I would ruin the temper in the pin and the sheave when I baked them in the oven. So I'm just going to have to paint it and live with that. I thought about maybe just powder coating these side plates, but if I got to go to all the work to get out the powder coat or to get out the paint, I'd rather just do everything the same process. 3.375 by... I found myself with a little bit of extra time because of a lull in online orders. So I decided to go ahead and make this mount that replaces the pintle hitch down here. All I did was cut out a couple pieces with the CNC plasma table. Of course, grind them, sand them, make them look pretty, put them together, and then weld them up. So I'm going to start out with it in this orientation. That way I can tack weld the ends over here, get it square, and we'll flip it over, weld the slots, and then come back to filling in this if we need to or whatever. Nice and square. Alright, flip it over here. It's going to fall down because it's round. Coming out pretty nice. And that hook in there. So I can change the angle of my cable if I want to go over here or go over here. It looks really nice now. Oh yeah, that's amazing. All right, I'm going to take this back off of here. I want to powder coat this thing because I can, and it'll be much more durable to powder coat. And then when this is powder coated and the paint is dried for this, I'll put it back together and show you everything all nice and pretty. Alrighty, timer just went off. Oh, shut off the oven. That'd be a good thing to do. There we go. That looks pretty good. Alright, nice. Go. So I was looking over this cable, and this cable is completely beat up. I've had this on here for several years now. I don't remember when I put this cable on. I have to go back and look through time. It's been pretty well beat up. So I decided I want to switch to synthetic cable. It turns out that Vevor, a company I have partnered with, has synthetic winch lines. I ordered the 1/2-inch diameter version and installed it on my truck winch. I want this video to be a build video, so I'm not going to talk any more about the winch line. I'll be back here in a few weeks after I get to use this line a lot with a separate review video. For now, let's go see if my redirect system will actually work. I've got a little made-up scenario going here. Side pulling from my truck is something that I do. Usually it's not a car, usually it's a piece of farm equipment that is broken down in one way or another. So I parked the truck over here, trying to reach around the tree. I'm going to move the car. So this way I can go around something to get to something. Well, I have to say the test of this redirect system went great. I can't wait to get out in the real world and actually try it and bring you guys along for that. But until then, I guess I'll just say thank you all for your support, and hopefully I'll see you here in a few weeks with a review of the synthetic winch line. Alright, later y'all.